What's good people, and welcome back to the channel here on Crew Boy Productions. My name is BK, and this is the Silly, Nerdy, and Wordy Podcast, episode number 67. This is going to be a spoiler review of the film Tornado, the independent film Tornado. Spoiler review, that's what this is going to be about. What's going on, everyone? In this episode, I discussed the new independent film Tornado. I talked about how I randomly chose this film to go and see it. It was not a planned film that I wanted to see, but I'm glad I did see it, so I talked about that. Talked about my likes and dislikes and how the film started, how it was unique, interesting. It took a while to get onto it, but talked about that, some of the cinematography, the action, and how the score and music played into this film, added to it. So went into that. Talked about a particular performance as well, how unique it was. It's not new, but just something to point out. So that is what I discussed in this episode. And if you like this channel and what I've been doing here, you can subscribe to this channel, leave a like, leave a comment. Let me know your thoughts about this particular movie. Are you aware of this Tornado movie? If so, are you going to see it? And let me know your thoughts, what you thought about it, if you're even aware of it, and just let me know your overall thoughts of what I am doing here on this channel. So if you can like, subscribe, comment, and share as well. But if you want to listen to this podcast, you are also welcome to do so. You can follow the podcast on Spotify, on Apple Podcasts, as well as iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, and wherever you get your podcasts. Just search for the Silly, Nerdy, and Wordy Podcast, and you can leave a rating, leave a review, and then you are able to listen wherever you get your podcasts. And also on the YouTube side, you can turn on the notification bell so you'll be notified whenever I drop a new episode, and I do episodes weekly here. So you have that option to listen or watch. Now, with all of that out of the way, here is episode number 67. Enjoy. Hey, what's good people, and welcome back to the channel here on Crew Boy Productions. My name is BK, and this is the Silly, Nerdy, and Wordy Podcast, episode number 67, a spoiler review of the new Tornado film. Again, spoiler review of the film Tornado. What's going on, everybody? I hope everybody is doing very well. I'm back with another episode and decided to try something different. This movie here, I just randomly decided to see it, and I was in my AMC Theaters app, and I just was looking through it and just decided to click on this particular movie poster. That's the only way I know about it. And then I watched the trailer a couple of times, and then I ultimately decided to see this movie. And this is a different type of movie. And had I known about this in advance, like I normally do, it's most likely that I would have been on my list to go see. But like I said, this is one of the smaller independent films, and this film is set in the year of 1790. This film is directed by John Maclean, and his previous projects include Slow West, which is a 2015 film, Pitch Black Heist in 2011. That was a short film. The cast also includes Tim Roth. It includes Rory McCannon, and many people know Rory McCannon. He was the Hound character in Game of Thrones. He was also recently in Gladiator 2 in 2024, and he will also be the actor taking over for the late great Ray Stevenson in Star Wars Ahsoka Season 2. He will be taking over that character as well. This movie also stars Koki, as well as Takahiro Hara and Dennis Okwera. And that is the main cast. And like I said, this movie takes place in the year 1790. And so I want to read the synopsis via the AMC Theater app so you get a feel of where this movie takes place in. But it says a traveling puppet samurai show in Britain in 1790 crosses path with ruthless criminals, but one of the performers, Tornado, hatches a plan to play them at their own game. So that's the setting synopsis of this movie. And when it says play at their own game, she and a little boy ultimately stole some gold from those bandits, from Tim Roth's character. And so that's where the things go awry. And this was a very unique film. This started off slow and in terms of the pacing, so it did start to pick up in the second act, but the way this story was going, the character of Koki was in this traveling circus, and her father within that circus was a puppeteer separately, and the father was ultimately killed. The father was also a samurai. The father was killed by Tim Roth's character, and so once she finds her strength, she ultimately goes and on a revenge tour to eventually, kill the ones responsible for tormenting her and her circus family as well. And so that's where this story goes. And the way this story started off, it was very confusing in the beginning. It executed the story in a way it does normally a TV show, a cop drama, or just a show in general. You can take it, for instance, as you're watching a show like NCIS or The Rookie or Arrow, and you see the show, it starts off with a particular scene, and then the opening credits play, and then you come back after the credits play, the show continues, and then you see the graphic at the bottom. It says 36 hours earlier, 3 days later, or 24 hours ago. And so that's the approach that this movie took, doing that and then catching the story up and getting back in real time. The only difference is the movie didn't use the small graphic to show the time frame. And so that took a while to catch on to that. So once I realized what was happening, I was like, light bulb went up. I was like, oh, I see what they're doing here. But it was a bit of a confusing start. And like I said, the pacing really started off slow. So I was starting to think I'm not going to like this movie at all. But that did not end up being the case. So this movie was solid, I would say. And one of the things that really stood out to me was the score and the sound, the music. The music was really a key piece for me because it added to the movie. Particularly, it came in and out as it needed to be. And then the instruments, particularly their string instruments, whether it was violins and cellos and different types of string instruments. The intensity of the string instruments was intense when it needed to be intense in terms of the scenes that were happening. And in the lighter moments, when it didn't need to be as intense, it was not. So going in and out of that, the timing of it, the placing of it, as the scenes and the action and the lower moments was happening, very, very good in terms of the timing with the score, the music. So good job with the score, music department, as well as the editing as well. And so that was very, very key. And then a little bit about the sound. One of the buggies was eventually burned, and the sound of, it's a small thing, but the sound of the fire, the way it was burning, that sounded really, really good. So good job on the sound department. And then also I want to say about the two things about the cinematography as well as some of the action. The go hand in hand in what I'm about to say, because the cinematography of this movie, there were some great shots, particularly with the sun, and also in particular action scenes as the character of Tornado was fighting with Tim Roth's bandits. At the end of those sword fights, she held her stance and held it well and long, just to see it and strong. And so it was just great that she did that, and it was just great shots as well. Those at the same time, those were happening with the way the shot was looking, with the lighting and the sun in the background and the silhouette. So it was just great cinematography shots there, and great with her stance as she finished off with her sword fighting. And then also as she was walking off into the sunset towards the end of the movie, there's a great shot at the end of the sun setting and her walking. Like I said, it's just a great film shot to look at, great cinematography shot towards the end there. There's a couple other ones too. So really, really great job from that perspective. So I really enjoyed those. And then also one particular thing about the performance, one particular actor that I mentioned that was in the cast, and that is Dennis Okwera. And he was the only African American in this cast, in this film, in the main cast. And there's just something I just wanted to point out, and it's nothing new, but for this film, he did not have any lines of dialogue at all. So his character said nothing. So all he had was his movement, was the look in his eyes, and there was one character that his character did kill. And then, of course, he had the sword fight with the tornado character, but that was it. So he didn't, like I said, he had no lines of dialogue whatsoever. And he was in the Bandits of Tim Roth's character, Misfits of Bandits, and all of them were talking amongst themselves, but he did not. He was the silent one, the one with the cowboy hat. So just interesting thing that I wanted to point out. And what else can I say about this movie? I think getting mostly to the end here. Yeah. So like I said, this movie took place in 1790. It was a slow start for me at the beginning. I didn't think I was going to like this at all because it was very slow pacing start. And it did start to pick up. So I was pleasantly surprised. I liked it more than I thought I would once I started the movie. I would definitely check it out if you want to see something a little different in a different time period. It didn't need a whole bunch of great, special effects or big action pieces and all these things. It's very simple things that were needed, that were done. And so I enjoyed it. I liked it. So hats off to everyone involved. Besides the start of the movie, that part was confusing and maybe I didn't like a little bit, but other than that, it really started to pick up as things went along. So I'm glad that I saw this film. So that's all for this film. So let me know in the comments, are you aware of this film? Do you know about this film? Will you go see this movie now? Maybe that you've seen my review. Let me know in the comments. Let me know what you thought about my description of this film. So leave a comment there. Let me know your thoughts. And leave a like, and of course, subscribe to the channel for more content, for more spoiler reviews and other type of episodes as well. I'll have future guests coming in the future. You can listen to this podcast wherever you get your podcasts. If you want to listen on Apple Podcasts, on Spotify, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, Pandora, Audible, wherever you want to listen, you can certainly do that. Leave us a review, give us a rating, let me know your thoughts on that. Just search for the Silly, Nerdy, and Wordy podcast, and you can listen there as well as watch here on the YouTube channel and on Spotify. And as well, I share TikTok clips of this podcast on TikTok. You can find me here on Nerdy Podcaster 124 on TikTok for short clips of this podcast, as well as clips everywhere else on social media. So I hope you enjoyed this episode here. I hope you learned something. Hope this was able to give you a little bit of a break, and hopefully you go check out this lesser known film. And if you have, go and see it. Come back and let me know your thoughts. That's all it's going to be for today. Come back and see me. So until next time, we will talk